you're asleep, completely out, drooling on the pillow, zero awareness of the world around you. By every biological definition, you are helpless. Now take away the walls. You're in a tent, a thin sheet of nylon, embarrassingly thin, between you and a forest full of animals that could end you if they felt like it. Lions, bears, wolves, leopards. Creatures that can smell you from a mile off, hear your heartbeat across a clearing, and see perfectly in the dark while you lie there with your eyes closed. And yet you wake up in the morning. Every single time. For most of human history, this should have been a death sentence. 30,000 years ago, a human lying down was blind, half deaf to the forest, and completely unable to run, surrounded by things built to kill exactly that. But somehow, closing your eyes in lion country turned out to be one of the safest things a person could do. Campers and field workers across Africa, India, and Siberia still sleep in the open every night, in places crawling with predators, and walk away untouched. Not because the predators didn't notice them, because the predators noticed them and decided it wasn't worth it. The reason isn't one thing. It's never one thing. It's several layers stacked on top of each other, and each one is stranger than the last. Start with the part that sounds like an ego trip, but is really just biology. As a species, you are frightening. Not you specifically. You right now are probably fine. But humans to a predator, deeply evolutionarily terrifying, which makes no sense on paper. We have no claws. We're slow. We're weak for our size. We can't see in the dark. As an animal, we're kind of a disaster. Then a study happened. In 2019, researchers at UC Santa Cruz played recordings of ordinary human voices, just people talking, near mountain lions in California. The pumas fled. These are animals that take down full-grown deer like it's nothing, and they heard a person talking and ran. Worse than that, they abandoned kills they'd already made, food they were in the middle of eating, and walked away from a meal they'd burned precious calories to catch. A predator giving up a kill is basically working for free. They did it anyway. And here's the part that should give you chills. That same fear rippled downward, with the big cats keeping their distance. The smaller predators pulled back too, and the rodents they normally keep in check suddenly got bolder. One human sound reshaped the behavior of an entire food web, without a single animal ever being touched. Why are they this scared of a creature with no claws? Because of what we did to their ancestors. For 2 million years, humans have been active predators. We hunted mammoths out of existence. We wiped mountain lions off the entire eastern half of a continent. We shot, trapped, and poisoned big predators so systematically for so long that the ones alive today are the descendants of the ones that stayed away from us. That's not a metaphor. That's natural selection. The wolves that raided human camps got hunted down. The lions that got too bold didn't pass on their genes. The careful ones survived, reproduced, and handed that caution to their cubs. Generation after generation, the fear stopped being a lesson and became instinct. So when a leopard picks up your scent tonight, something very old fires in its nervous system. Not a thought exactly. An inherited alarm that says, be careful around that thing. Don't engage, move on. It's a biological memory, and it runs deep. Then there's the problem of what you actually look like. Because a predator isn't hunting food, it's hunting a shape. A lion is running on millions of years of one simple rule. Chase the thing that looks and moves like prey. 4 legs, a horizontal spine, a head low to the ground, moving in that twitchy, grazing way. That shape means dinner. A human standing on 2 legs doesn't match it at all. And here's where it gets unsettling. Researchers studying tiger attacks in India's Sundarbans noticed most victims weren't standing. They were bent over, crouched, cutting grass or gathering firewood. The moment a human goes horizontal, something in the tiger's brain flips a switch. So forestry workers tried something almost too simple to believe. They wore masks on the backs of their heads, painted with a second pair of eyes staring backward. Attacks dropped sharply. Tigers ambushed from behind, and suddenly the back of every head was staring right at them. Now picture a sleeping body instead. No walking gait, no head bobbing to graze, No scent trail of fierce sweat from something running. Just an unfamiliar shape doing absolutely nothing a predator's instincts know how to answer. And to a hunting animal, unfamiliar means cautious, not charge. The smell doesn't help their case either. To a nose thousands of times sharper than yours, you're broadcasting a chemical signal that's just plain wrong. Synthetic fabric, soap, sunscreen, the food you ate hours ago. A cocktail of compounds with no match anywhere in the natural world. Underneath it all, you smell faintly like a primate, but you don't smell like the deer or the antelope these animals evolved to hunt. You're not in the system. You're an anomaly. None of this would matter if predators were reckless, but they aren't. That's the biggest myth the movies ever sold you. A lion doesn't have health insurance. A wolf doesn't get sick days. One serious injury, a cracked jaw, a deep bite, a damaged eye, is a slow death by starvation. So every decision to attack is a cold calculation. Is this worth the risk? A sleeping human fails that math on every line. Unfamiliar, so its behavior is unpredictable. Possibly surrounded by others who will wake and respond. And almost never alone. Where there's one sleeping human, there's smoke, cooked food, gear, sometimes a dog, sometimes the sound of others breathing. To a predator's nose, that doesn't read as one easy animal. It reads as occupied territory. It looks like a guarded group, and there's an easier meal sleeping somewhere else in the forest. The lion walks past a shape it can't read. The bear walks past a smell not worth a fight it doesn't need. Different senses, different reasoning, exact same outcome. The sleeping human slips through untouched. But this isn't a law of nature. It's a pattern built on probability, and probabilities break. In the early 1900s, a tigress in the hills of northern India and Nepal killed an estimated 436 people over several years, the deadliest man-eater on record. When the hunter Jim Corbett finally examined her, he found the reason. The canine teeth on one side of her mouth were shattered, most likely by an old gunshot. She could no longer bring down deer or boar. So she turned to the one prey that was slower, quieter, and far easier to catch than anything that runs. Every documented case follows that same script. A predator that's injured, starving, fed by tourists until it lost its fear, or simply old and desperate past its prime. Something broke. The normal calculation flipped. Strip away the fire. Strip away the food discipline. Strip away thousands of generations of inherited caution, the way it was stripped from one wounded tigress, and the same animal that ignored 100 sleeping camps becomes the one thing in the forest hunting you while you sleep. So next time you're in a tent in the dark, listening to the sounds beyond the nylon, and you feel that little pulse of ancient anxiety, that's fine. That feeling kept your ancestors alive. But the thing out there in the dark, the one capable of killing you in seconds, has already walked close enough to smell you, looked at the shape on the ground, and quietly decided it wasn't worth it. It knows better.